So does the doctor pleading the fifth add to concerns that there was a cover-up?
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me on. It absolutely does. You know, we've known for a long time that what we were being told about Joe Biden's health, his mental state, was not reality. We saw it in the debate. The American people could see him declining before their very eyes. And all this does is we're trying to ask people involved in this cover-up about what they knew and when. All this does, whenever they refuse to answer questions, is raise more questions. And that's what we're trying to figure out here.
Congressman, what happens next? Will Congress ever be able to get the truth out of this doctor, or is there enough evidence from other witnesses who have testified before Congress already to establish what I would call the legal basis for a charge of a cover-up?
Well, we're only getting started here. We've got a variety of other aides who worked in the Biden White House and who were near in his orbit during that time that we're going to be bringing in for questioning. So we're just getting started here. But the more these people refuse to work with the committee and to answer questions in a straightforward way, the more questions that get raised to begin with. You know, coming in and being asked, were you told to lie about the president's health, and claiming the fifth just raises more questions. So that's what we're going after. We're just getting started. We've got more people we're going to be talking to.
Well, Congresswoman, your colleague Jasmine Crockett, she was at the deposition yesterday, and she has no problem with this doctor not answering any of the questions. Listen to this.
It's kind of astounding to hear someone say, if you invoke the Fifth Amendment, that is only because you are guilty. We have a constitutional right that anyone who may be under fire can invoke. I think that he did what any good lawyer would advise him to do. The country is off the rails right now. People have concerns about the current occupant in the White House and whether or not he is mentally fit to serve in this moment.
What do you think about that?
Well, the doctor absolutely has a constitutional prerogative to plead the fifth. What we're saying, though, is whenever we are asking you straightforward questions about whether you were directed to lie about the president's health, that's something that I would expect you to be able to answer without resorting to the Fifth Amendment. But listen, Jasmine Crockett can say what she wants to say. She can slander the president now, but I don't think that anybody with who is sane is comparing President Trump's health to Biden's health. I think that's nuts.
Meantime, Unearthed College newspaper writings show that rising Democrat star and socialist Zohran Mamdani was promoting an anti-Israel boycott. So why haven't more of your Democrat colleagues, especially those of the Jewish faith, been more forceful in coming out against Mamdani, especially when new concerning things about this guy come to light each and every day?
Yeah, you know, it's like the more we learn about this guy, the more radical we can see that he is. You know, this is a guy who is running on a platform of defund the police, globalize the intifada. He is explicitly a communist who wants to nationalize grocery stores, doesn't believe that billionaires should exist. And wants to seize the means of production. I mean, this guy is as radical gets. And now we're learning that he had a variety of articles from his college days talking about white privilege, demeaning white people, which, by the way, is the one form of racism that the left actually embraces, and has been promoting these explicitly anti-Semitic BDS movement. So I think this is, it's par for the course. We see this guy, we know who he is, and I'd like to see more of my Democrat colleagues coming out and opposing this. I mean, this is radical left-wing stuff. And honestly, this type of anti-Semitism, this kind of racism should have no place in our country.
Yeah, well, they may do just that, but for political reasons, because now we're learning that some of Mamdani's allies are threatening to primary Hakeem Jeffries because he isn't left enough for them. So there could end up being no love lost between these two politicians. Only time will tell.
It's a party in disarray.
Congressman Gill, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.